Chicano Ideas YouTube channel. Culture is power, history is knowledge. Well, I want to talk about what if this Tariq Nasheed versus American Cholo Gil happens. Like, not really, is it really versus American Cholo versus Tariq, or is it a discussion? What would the dialogue be about? Is it for them to point fingers at one another? For American Cholo to expose Tyreek on admitting that yes, it was wrong for him to say this stuff, what he said about Mexicans. The clip that American Cholo was sharing on his Instagram of what Tariq was saying about Mexicans. Is that what he's going to come at Tyreek about? Is this what he's coming to the table with? And what is Tyreek? What is the point of Tyreek? Is Tyreek supposed to apologize and admit what he said was wrong? Yes, I shouldn't have said this. Is this discussion just about pointing fingers? He said this, I said that, because there's really no value for Tyreek to speak to Gil. Like, it's more valuable to Gil, but it's only valuable if both of them are willing to cooperate. That would be valuable, and talk about the unity and being able to cooperate with each other. Because I seen that little clip of them possibly talking to each other, and people were saying, Gil, you better be sharp because Tyreek is sharp. He's a smart brother. And I know Gil calls him a pimp, but it's not up to what Gil thinks or the Chicano community thinks of Tyreek, because Tyreek is he is a very acceptable man within his community. And throughout I know Tyreek is going for the March of Reparations, the reparations, and he's made plenty of movies called Colors, like the living colors of Black African American history. Great videos. I've seen clips of him before, never the whole things. A lot of information. This guy's real sharp. He's a historian, and he's written books before about dating. That's what what people remember him back in the days about. I know a lot about this brother. I used to watch Tyreek since 2015. I enjoy his YouTube channel and what he has in history and his sharp mind. But the point is, what would be the point of them dialoguing? It would have to overall be like, okay, we said this about each other, but what can we do to unite as in being able to cooperate with each other? Because Tariq is more of, like, you could say, of a black nationalist, maybe more just for his community. He's not worried about really organizing with other ethnicities if your own people are not organized and working with each other. See, one thing about that I've always said, if you know me, see, none of these guys, we don't have no true historians in our community. We don't got nobody. Gil has interviewed a lot of like mayors and city councils, but yet none of those people have their own YouTube channels for Chicanos breaking down politics. What if they were showing us examples of how to be politicians? These are the guidelines. This is what we do. We don't got none of those Chicano/Latino people on YouTube channel providing information about city council. I mean, personally, and to a level that we wouldn't know. We don't got anybody like 19 Keys, Dr. Boyce Watkins, etc. Like people who was like uh, Young Farron, Omar Johnson, Phil from the Advice Show. He was one of the biggest news channels, black news channels. Like, see, one thing that you could see is that the black community, they're having a black convention within the next month, and all these scholars are going to be there. Like, people like Tyreek might be there. They all support each other. All these names, most of them support each other. They back each other. They all cooperate. They made interviews with each other, but yet we don't got anybody to up to this level. We don't got a brother in the Chicano community like 19 Keys or Riza Islam. People of this statue like Dr. Boyce Watkins. We have, the only one, we had scholars like people obviously of the Mexica movement and Lali, but yet we don't really got nobody up to par. Like, we don't even got a Tyreek in the Chicano community. You know, what is the point of Gil and Tyreek talking? Because it can't be about pointing fingers. it would have to be about cooperating. What can we do to build with each other and, learn from each other? Because Tariq has done so much for his community, helped open museums, made movies, written books. He's he's known within the black conscious community, the black uh, culture of YouTube. Every people support him. I see his Instagram. I follow Tariq Instagram. A lot of the Hebrew Israelites follow him. The Sinetta, people who claim Egyptian Kemet, the Nation of Islam. These brothers follow him. I'm gonna watch a conversation with Tariq at 19 Keys next week. What is it that us Chicano community has to offer? Because yet we're not up to par when it comes to being a real movement, being real organized, having people of this stature of high level conscience of a mindset, you know, that just could pull our people together through the education, through the intelligence of us understanding what is. See, one thing about the black community is, like someone like Tariq, right? I think he's more for a lot of these black scholars and historians. You watch them on YouTube, they're all mostly for their own nation. They're for the separation of the United States. They all got economic growth. Our community is not speaking on economic growth, and we don't got the people trying to do it. American Cholo does not really talk about economic growth. He does not talk about, you know, having our own nation. It's just better rights within the United States. Most of these groups and people that I named within the black community, they all want their own. That's what we need for our people. We all need to understand who wants what. We're barely at a level of having high scholars teaching our community. We don't have enough people out there with these minds making YouTube channels showing us that we could relate to within our culture, producing that type of high level education, high level thought, high level consciousness, high level spirituality, you know? And so, what would be the point of Gil and Tariq talking? Tariq's a smart brother. He's done a lot for his community. And what would be the point of him talking to American Cholo unless he wants to bring brown and black unity? Unless that's what he's all right. You know what? I'm gonna do this, and I'm not here to argue, but let's hear then to have an alliance. We said what we said. We were both wrong, and we're here to cooperate with each other. And from now on, let's see what we could do to help support each other. And you know, but that's what our people lack: the understanding of what we want within ourselves. Who a lot of us yet do not have these leaders and these groups and organizations that the blacks do, and individuals who are highly respected on an intelligent level. But other than that, I don't know. What would happen, what's gonna happen. Hopefully they do talk, but I don't really expect, like, what is it gonna be about? It would be good for Gil to being able to talk to someone like Tariq, who is respected within his community, even though, yes, he calls him a pimp, but he's highly accepted within his community. And a lot of these other historians and scholars and people who are revolutionaries in his community accept him. So if he was really a pimp like American Cholo says he is, his community wouldn't accept him. Like Brother Polite, he fell off. The community didn't like him. People are unsure about Dr. Umar. People are unsure about how young Farron changed within their community. Those are examples. You'll get called out all over YouTube. I've seen it watching the brothers, watching the black community since 2014, who they barely had 50,000 people. Now these brothers channels has grown throughout the years, and they're way ahead of us. And what are we gonna bring to the table for ourselves and for, the acknowledgement of us cooperating? Other than that, what is your thoughts? Do you know of what I'm talking about, Chicanos? Peace out. Culture is power. History is not knowledge. Chicano ideas.